So now is my turn to give you an overview of what digital innovation hubs are. Also an idea of why they're important, what the Commission is going through about digital innovation hubs. So Francesco, if I say something wrong, just let me know. I don't know if you can charge the next presentation. Okay, so we'll start out. Okay, well, this is the new picture from Max as well. Stolen it from Max Lemke's presentation. So it tries to give an entire overview of what's happening right now in Europe regarding digital innovation hubs, what are the needs from industry regarding hubs, and also how also platforms are going to be linked to all these issues. So, okay, here, okay, wow. I didn't know it was so unique. Okay, so here we will be talking about digital innovation hubs. So what all this means is what has been currently going on in Brussels regarding the promotion, the creation, and let's say the reinforcement of those hubs which are already starting. So there's a catalogue, there are some starting to be some topics going across around hubs, and there's all this approach of trying to engage also Eastern European countries in this kind of let's say travel to the hubs. There are many projects, and I'll talk about that later on, that are already embedding digital innovation hubs in the approach of the project, in the consortium. Of course, Boost is one of them, but I'll show and explain later on what it means. So all of these has to be linked to everything that is going on in Brussels regarding the projects, promotion also of PPPs as the big data PPP platforms, and using big data, engaging digital innovation hubs to use those platforms to promote the platforms, and also to engage the industry, SMEs, and small mid caps, as some like to mention, in all these big network. So what we have here is the regulatory framework, which IDSA has much to say as well, but it's right because all this movement and dealing with data is quite new. There's a big need of standardization and also to let's say going in the same way. Skills. Some of that has also been mentioned by Francesco. There's a huge need of retraining our workers, because we can have greatest technology, but if people do not know how to use it or have a huge fear to use it, that would be a huge constraint for all of us. So we need to bring in new training for those coming up from the universities or engaging them in these new technologies, but also use people with experience that have to, let's say, upgrade their skills to the new technologies. Okay, so all these I've been talking about. So what is how all this started? What is the beginning of this all? So let's say, although there were some initial projects like Ecor++ that was willing to promote the technology by the usage of SMEs and other companies, I would say I4MS has been one of the main initiatives with which the European Commission has promoted the usage of technology by smaller enterprises. In this sense, I4MS promoted already 11 projects. Right now will be 14 projects on different areas, all of those related to the digitalization of companies around, of course, Industry 4.0 concept, and taking care of data through HPC, CPS, also additive manufacturing, robotics, laser technologies, all around set the digitalization of companies, but with a unique approach, which is trying to create a core in those projects through the role of the digital innovation hubs that will later on be engaged with those SMEs who are willing to upgrade their services, products, let's say, to boost, in a way, their technology in the direction of digitizing their processes or products. So I4MS started with this approach. It started initially with the concept of the competence centers, which is kind of those entities who are acquiring that technology, but realized that there's a need also to be not only giving this kind of service to the companies, but also to customizing and explaining those companies what type of technology would be interesting for them. So there's also like an initial approach towards providing technology, which is explaining those SMEs which technology is best for them, why is it interesting for them to invest in that, because sometimes technology seems to be very appealing, but you don't really know what is the success or the improvement that you'll get out of implementing it, and later on also help them in the business area and so on. So in a way, what we aim to have by the Digital Innovation Hubs concept is a one-stop shop that will guide all those companies to know how they can acquire that, how they can go through that without trying to, go around different areas and getting lost in the way, which is usually what happens, especially for those small ones who have this fear of investment as being a major loss economy-wise. So we Commission started with this I4MS concept as said. It's mainly for SMEs and on these areas that I have mentioned, but has gone farther ahead, and it's a concept that is boosting in different areas of the Commission. So it's no longer, let's say, something only for I4MS. We have SAE, Smart Anything Everywhere. It's also around other areas related to electronics, HPC, etc. And you can see here the different numbers that I won't highlight, but as you see, we're talking about big numbers. They're starting to grow up, and we have a lot of different engaged companies that you can check on the websites related to both initiatives. So this was the starting point, and there's still lots to do, lots to learn, because the concept from Digital Innovation Hub, somehow it's evolving based on the different countries, regions. The needs are changing a lot. We can see, for example, hubs that are more sector-wise, like, for example, we could mention the AIC, but we also have others who are more engaged in technology. Let's say those who are based on HPC, for example, it could be an HPC Digital Innovation Hub. We are also working with the Commission in some projects with the aim of promoting also the work or cross-border work among these innovation hubs, and also those digital innovation hubs, not only to be active in their local area, which is the main or the first objective for them, but also to go farther ahead and maybe provide support to other locations, because there's not a need of having a hub of every technology or every sector in each region in Europe. So I said there are some working groups going on in the Commission right now. We're involved in them, and due to the different visions, needs, and also digitalization levels across Europe and across regions within countries, there's the needs and the support demanded by the companies is quite very, very diverse. So you see here some concepts. This is also stolen by the last presentation we had last week of the outcomes of the latest working group from the Commission. So it's brand new and let's say come up from production in a way. And you can see here which are the concepts. So some of the, like this one, for example, it's been a picture already going around different PowerPoints. Here you can see all the different concepts that we aim to link and provide. As said, a company comes with different needs around this digitalization, and it will go out with a solution. That's the aim, which is of course very difficult to achieve straight away, but there are a lot of schemes to trying to, let's say, make those hubs more mature and enlarge the kind of technology and services provided to the companies. But in a way, that would be, let's say, a major support. A hub is not only an entity, it can be a combination of entities. Let's say, the rules towards this combination, it's a bit diverse. it is assumed that there is at least a competence center. This means there's at least one entity, usually more than one, that can provide this technology directly to the companies. Otherwise, it would be only a consultancy or association with no strength on technology to provide. But the idea is to have at least one competence centers and to also go through all these different ideas that you see here. So provide access to finance, of course, give an overview of the EU, different programs, but it's not only that, maybe also link it to startup or business angels to mature those products. Skills becoming more and more important, because it has been proven that it's a bottleneck in all those different works done in parallel. So this is more or less what we are going through right now. So, as said, regions, governments, as we've seen today with the EU and the ministry, we have different approaches, also based on different situations and realities. So there's an idea of providing a huge amount of money towards creating these hubs. We have different visions here, but they're very much well aligned, and the European Commission is working with different countries to, let's say, build up a joint message. You see here, again, the main aim is to ensure that all businesses in Europe, whatever the sector, activity, technology needs, are having a solution and also, let's say, like a backup or support on their way to digitalization. Hubs are one of those becoming a bit old because Oettinger is not there anymore, but there was five key aspects that they wanted to focus on to promote digitalization in Europe, and these innovation hubs was one of them. So, as said, it's very, very important for Europe, and of course for the Basque Country and Spain. So what we have here is just an idea of different types of technologies that those hubs could be supporting companies with. You see, all related, usually, since it's digitalization and the Industry 4.0 is a concept going around this new paradigm for companies, it's always going around those technologies. So it's data, usage of data, analysis of data, outcome of data, interaction of machinery, CPS, advanced manufacturing, new processes such as additive manufacturing or others. Okay, this is just an idea of what a business ecosystem could be. It's very, very dependent on the type of hub. Okay, so, but in the end, it's enlarging the world for those SMEs and helping them out on how to get what they need. There's a big, let's say, controversy for some, saying that this could be a cluster or association. It's not like that. It's let's say, a joint forces group, a group joining forces, not isolated, working together and helping out those who need this support. So, as the end of my presentation, I also would like to highlight that Innovalia is working in different ways as a digital innovation hub. We have different strengths, mainly on ICT and manufacturing, and we're providing our support through projects and directly to clients in these different sites that you can see here. So we are, of course, part of AIC, and we are working in these different areas. So zero defects, HPC, CPS, we're working on all these. We have a set also linking companies with the needs and have interaction with other digital innovation hubs, such as, for example, with HPC, we don't have this capacity, but we're linking those companies that need it with the right actors in place. Okay, so, well, this is just another idea. We have also this innovation side. We're giving also business approach and this other help that is not only technology and is also part of the full package that those SMEs or companies are needing to upgrade their technology. There are different catalogs right now in the Commission. You have one which is led by GSC that has an idea of the entire digital innovation hubs that you can find out right now in Europe. This has been upgraded continuously, so you might see that maybe a hub is not there, but maybe in a couple of weeks it is. And we have also the I4MS map with the hubs of those who are engaged in projects from I4MS. So we are involved in both. We're also part of what is called the Basque Digital Innovation Hub, which is a way of reinforcing and linking capacities in the Basque Country, and we're working in all of those with our capacities. I said, this is just a summary of some of the services and competences that we are providing here from AIC, but as I said, we are in different areas and we are also providing some others. So I'd like to thank you for listening and hope it was some of an overview. Thank you.